You made a statement in one of your TED Talks that people in their 20s today, I think you polled some people in your company, and they didn't think of themselves as working for you. They thought of themselves as like working for themselves or their own P&L, and it's a concept I hadn't heard articulated before. What did you mean by that? And how is that relevant to entrepreneurs?
Well, I just think that, the tide of history is shifting to the individual all across the board. I don't think that anybody in their 20s thinks that they work for anybody. They wouldn't say it that way, right? If they, they might be respectful to me and say, oh yeah, no, we work for Julia, we work for Ariadne and so forth. But I just don't think that they think of it that way. And to be honest, I didn't think of that way. So even though I'm really old, when I was 23 years old in Paris, I didn't think I worked for anybody. And then, oh my God, I went back to Boston at one point and I started working for a marketing agency. And the HR director took me aside and she said, you know what the problem with you is? I said, oh no, what's the problem? And she says, you think you work for yourself. You work here, right? And I thought, caught, right? So I think I see it in myself. I never thought. Now, I grew up as the daughter of an entrepreneur, so I had other problems. I just have never thought that I work for somebody. But I see that behavior, right? These guys, sure, they want to be part of the team. I'm not saying we're not a team. We're a team, right? But they understand being an individual capitalist, which I think is very positive. I think there's very few downsides to that. So what I really mean is that never before have the tools, the technology, the understanding of what it means to kind of put your shop front out there, even if you're inside of a business, for you to basically say kind of like, what do I bring to the world? What's my contribution? What's my value in the market, right? What am I going for that? And if you get these guys on their own, right, and you make them feel safe with a glass of wine, they'll tell you where they're going. They're saying, 5 years time, I'm running my own business, right? So, I think it may be in Naples, Italy, that it's difficult to get a job. I don't know, right? But I do know that the guy in Naples, Italy may not be able to get a job, but he damn well can create his own job today, right? So this idea that there's somebody holding you back is just yesterday's concept, right? So I think the world is becoming a lot more libertarian. I think it's becoming a lot more individual capitalist. And I think all of these issues around the way we collectivize risk, the way we try to collectivize security, not going to be talking about this stuff in 10 years' time. Because the kids that are in their 20s right now, that kind of, on July 1st, what I say to people on my team? I say, know what day it is? And they say, Julia, it's July 1st. I say, no, today is the day you start working to take home money. The first 6 months of the year, you're paying tax. Now you're paying, you get to spend the money. And I say, surely not, surely not. I say,
Robert Kiyosaki would love you. Yes.
So the point is, it's just that they're 25. What do they know? You know nothing at age 25. By the time you get to be 35, you have mortgages, you have families. And when these 25-year-olds get to be 35, they're going to say, who created this system? Oh my God, we could do this better. We could do it more efficiently, right? We can actually take that collectivization. We can collectively organize ourselves using technology. We could do things locally, right? So when I wrote about responsible business in the FT, and I said, listen, I have to take responsibility for the fact that homelessness in Earl's Court Road exists, right? I haven't solved that problem, right? Government's not solved that problem. I get a direct tweet from somebody who says, we are a social angel group in Earl's Court Road called Wild Blue Cohort. We're solving social problems in Earl's Court Road. Would you like to join us? I thought, fantastic. This is a sign of the future, right? It's a sign that people are taking responsibility and saying, there's homelessness in Earl's Court Road. We're going to nail that problem, right? So increasingly, government's just being disrupted, and all of that power just keeps on shifting down to the individual, which is going to create a lot of other issues. I'm not saying that it's perfect or panacea, but I'm just saying that it's the same phenomena. These kids that think that they work for themselves, problems being handled differently locally, it's part of this whole thing. It's no longer about the way we collectivize things in governments, all the rest of it. We're going to have to organize ourselves collectively in different ways using technology.
Don't miss London Real. Subscribe now.
Many technology entrepreneurs don't know how to pitch their startup, and when you're doing a startup you can't afford expensive PR people and things like that, so you have to pitch the media yourself, and they weren't doing it right. In London you have the financial industry, financial tech industry is very big, you have a fashion industry, it's very big, media is big. arts, culture, you know, you name it. So all these vertical industries are all equally big. Silicon Valley is no longer a place, it's a state of mind. So if you have that state of mind, you can do anything.